All right, welcome back to the channel. So we're a strong 53 subscribers now, so that's a couple more than last time I posted. So really appreciate that. Look, all the little bits and extra subscribers make a difference. So if you can, obviously click that button for us, and that helps me do more of these reviews. So this review is on the BT300 battery tester. So this one's just a no-name brand that I got off eBay, but I did read the reviews, and it's sort of getting some pretty good reviews on this unit. So no branding that I can see, just no label the BT or battery tester 300. So I've actually had this one out of the box, so this isn't a true unboxing as far as it goes. I have had it out and I've tested it all week, and look, it's a pretty solid unit actually. So for the amount I paid for it, which was $33, I think it was. I'll put that price below, off eBay here in Australia. So this is the unit as it comes out of the box. So obviously it's powered from the battery that you connect it to, so you can't actually sort of just turn the screen on as it sits. So just the positive negative clamps on there, bit of information about the battery range you can test on the back, and in the box, obviously it was just in the bag and comes with some instructions on the testing, but the actual menus in the actual unit itself guide you through the test as well, so you don't actually really need that. So I did do a little bit of experimentation on my ute, which we'll go out to in a minute. So I went out, tested it, tested all the functions, and obviously learnt those for the first time. So I do apologise for the one of them. It was a little bit sort of not exactly how you do it. I've picked it up on the second one, but it's exactly how the unit works. So they're not exactly a hard thing to use. So this one was paid by me, not sponsored in any way. Obviously, 53 subscribers, I'm not getting to that level just yet. So I've paid for this one myself, and yeah, so we'll go out and we'll test that now. Here we are out at my ute with the BT300. Now, this is the second time recording this, so you can imagine how happy I was when I realised that the mic that I bought to record these videos is not turned on. But anyway, we'll do it again. So we have gone through the learning process, so I'll go through and we'll start from scratch again. So basically, this is, what have we got, 74 amp hours. So we're going to battery. Hopefully we can see that. Vehicle, start test. I did run the headlights for 2 minutes already, so I've taken that surface charge off. Start engine. Alright, so 9.1 volts is what it went down to. Look, a little bit low as I was expected, so pretty much it is starting to get a little bit cooler here, and I have noticed it's starting to slow down a little bit on the cranking on start, but 9.5 is sort of minimum you generally want to go to. You probably want to do even a fraction more than that. But our charge system's working fine, sitting between 14.2, 14.3, so yeah, that's pretty accurate so far. Alright, the next one we'll do is we'll skip down and we'll have a look at quick test. Turn off the engine, you can still hear the injection still running there, which is finally shut down. Alright. Yep, here we are, 74 amp hours, so we'll press OK. A little bit low, but it has just been running, so ideally probably better off. So we might just run the headlights for a little bit longer, and we'll come back and check that, because I don't think it's quite that good to be run those headlights again for 2 minutes. So we'll try that quick test now. Yeah, that's probably more expected what I thought it would be. It's not definitely not 100%. Power showing 82%, showing 455 cranking amp hours available, which standard battery is 680. So look, it's probably fairly accurate, I would say, because I know that I'm just about due for replacement. All right, so what we'll do is we'll duck out of this one and we'll check the next test, which is going to be our load test. Alright, so turn off all electrical devices, start engine, wait for 15 seconds, and press OK. So headlights are off. Make sure the aircon is turned off, which is that one. And we'll start with that. We'll wait for 15 seconds. That's our 15. That's showing that we're basically the lowest we've been is 13.93 and the highest is 14.2. Alright, let's go across to start test. We'll turn the engine off. If necessary, turn on the headlights for 2 minutes, discharge. I'd say it's the same, take the surface charge off the battery and then test OK. So all I'll do is I'll go do that headlight running again. Run the headlights for 2 minutes, so we're back. So I'll press OK to go to the next. Start engine. See what that happens there. Yeah, again down to 9.1 volts. Our max is 4.8 and our current voltage 14.2 volts. Look, I'd say that's pretty, as I said, it's quite accurate so far because that's what I was measuring with the multimeter. Alright, our next one's going to be our charge tests. Get that to focus. Alright, turn on the load and increase the speed to 2,000 to 2,500 RPM. And press OK. Aircon is on. Headlights are back on. Get rid of those warning signs. We'll go to 2,500 RPM. So go press OK on that. Righto. Turn off the full vehicle load and increase to 2,500 RPM and press OK. So look, you might need 2 people to do this one. I'm not sure if it's meaning to do it with someone in the vehicle while you're doing that, but that's off. We'll go back to 2,500 RPM. I'll just press OK and we'll quickly duck around and we'll do it. Right. Now turn on the load again. So I'll go turn it on, press OK, and we'll rev it again. Aircon's back on. Headlights are back on. Alright. Alright, so load voltage 14.34, no load 14.25, and ripple 1.94 millivolts. So that's obviously the regulation. That seems pretty good to me. Alright, we'll just verify. So we're sitting on 14.3 volts. Let's just grab our multimeter. I'll try and do this with one hand. Volts DC. Even having a hard time doing this on out. On the side of the road trying to do this by myself, so let's see how we go now. Alright, 14.17 on my multimeter. We're varying between 14.2, 14.3, so like we're within 0.13 of a volt at worst of times, and I don't know how accurate that multimeter is. It's getting a little bit old, so look, for what I paid for it, which was $43, 95 I think it was Australian, which is around $31.50 US. Look, it seems to be quite good, and to be honest, the Snap-on or the Blue Point one I had before didn't give you the level of information. It was about 5 times as much as what I paid for this one here. So yeah, the BT300, not too bad.